All right, let's look at these two problems. So the dress was marked down 20% of its original price for the sale, and it's still sold for $120. So we know that 20% off of the original price. So the original price, let me just write here, the original minus 20% was equal to $120. That's what we get from the first statement. What would it sell for if the markdown of the original price was only 10%? So what we're asking for is, what is the original minus 10%? What does that equal? So what we've got to do is find out the original price in order to answer that question. So I'm going to use this to set up a proportion statement. And to do that, I'm going to use my percent and my dollar columns. I've got the original price, and then I've got my sale price. So the original price is going to be 100% of the price. And the sale price is minus 20, so that would be 80. We don't know what the original price is. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to look for P, price. And we know the sale price is $120. So this is going to be my proportion statement. So now all I have to do is cross multiply to find the original price. So 100 times 120, that's going to be 12,000. And 80 times P is going to be 80P. So I divide both sides by 80. Let me get my calculator for that. Divide that by 80. $150 is the original price. All right, so now I need the original minus 10%. So remember, percent of a number equals another number. So we want 10% off the original. So 10% off, that is going to be minus 10%. So 100% minus 10% is 90%, right? We want to pay 90%. So 90% times $150 is going to give us this only 10% price. It's going to give us this question mark right here. So we got to turn this into a decimal. That'll be 0.9 times 150. And that is going to be equal to 0.9 times 150, $135. So that is going to be our answer right here. That would what it would sell for if the markdown of the original price was only 10%. So remember your proportion statements. Remember to use your table to set it up, and then cross multiply to solve. And remember what you're actually asking for, right? We're not asking for 10% of the amount. We're asking for 90% because we only took 10% off. So that's the number that we multiply. All right, next problem. All right, so here we want to find the volume of the right triangular prism below. In order to do that, you've got to remember which one is the base. What is the base? And remember, there's a little triangle back here at the back, right? So this is what the whole thing kind of looks like. You've got the front and you've got the back. And technically, the area of the base is going to be the area that, or the shape that is consistent through the whole thing. Excuse me, sorry. So it depends on, I like to use the slice method. So if I was to slice this way, like if I were to cut it this way, the shape here from cutting it would not match the shape on the bottom. So this is not the base. Even though that's what it's sitting on, this is not the base. The base is going to be when you can slice the shape and both sides are identical. If I cut it like this side is going to look the same as this side. So that means that my base is the triangle, right? So that's what I am going to use. And if you see how the triangle here is consistent, you know, you got a triangle on the front here and the exact same triangle on the back here. So that tells me this is my tube, right? The tube is going this way. So my base is going to be the triangle. So that's what I've got to find. For volume, we always say the area of the base, as long as it is a tube of some kind, whether it's a cylindrical tube, we call that a prism, or whether it is a cylinder or a box or anything like that that has a consistent shape throughout. When it's a prism like that, it's area of the base times the height. So all I have to do is find the area of the base. And in this case, the area of the base is a triangle times the height. So the area of the base here, we have a 10-meter base times a 12-meter height. We divide that by 2. That's how we find the area of the base of a triangle, or the area of a triangle. And the height is the length of the prism. That's the length of the prism here. We don't even need this number. So the length of this is how much triangle we have. That's basically what we're asking. So that's going to be times 15 meters. This is your calculation. So 10 times 12 is 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60 meters squared times 15 meters. When I do my calculator, 60 times 15, I get 900 meters cubed. That's your answer. Sometimes these diagrams or these figures are going to give you a number that you don't even need for the calculation. And what we have to do is figure out, you know, what is that number? In this case, this number is the length of the hypotenuse of this right triangle. It is the side of the triangle. We don't need it. It's extra information. And when you have extra information, you just ignore it. All right? Figure out what you need and discard the rest. And they do that on purpose to make you think, to make you figure it out, to make sure you really understand what you're doing. So this is your solution. That's all we have for this video. If you have any more questions, keep asking. You're doing a great job asking for help. I would rather you ask than just sit there and not know. Because what's the point if you're just going to sit there and not know, right? The point is to learn. And asking helps you learn. You're doing a great job asking. Keep up the good work. You're doing great with this. And I'm so proud of you. And I will see you in the next video.